welcome back to another session of Main Gate Darbar. Today we have Abhijit Bansod. Bansod has been a junior and somebody whose work I really look up to. And I remember Bansod from NID days with he was a maximum Entu cutlet for Monsoon Fiesta. So ID ka the loudest cheering would be Abhijit. And I've been following his work over the years, starting with the work he used to do in NID itself. And he's always this quiet guy who'd be observing, sort of soaking up everything from seniors, from people around him. And you can see every year his work just keeps getting better and better till date. So he's somebody who's like a sponge. He just absorbs and quietly adapts and wins international awards also quietly. So seen his work at Titan, and after that, one good thing about his work is the amount of craft-based elements he puts into the work. There's a lot of Indian tradition which he brings out in a very very modern manner, and even his own products. He's also been an entrepreneur who's got his own line of products which has been retailing, and everything is like a nature and form story. There's a story behind everything, including that lamp of his, that cute lamp which keeps peeping at you, which got the Red Dot Award. And he's been also featured in, he's a award jury member for quite a few of the international prestige awards. So it's a big prestige to be able to have Bansod here, who reluctantly was bullied into coming on to Main Gate Darbar. So I'm going to add spotlight on Abhijit and let's kick off the whole thing. So Abhijit, I'm going to sort of try and trace out what has made you who you are, and your personality has been the same right from NID. Who's this quiet, sweet guy who's stays the same and is into his work. He's always got something with him. He's tinkering with something. So I want to understand what has made you who you are. So I'm going to start off with your childhood. So I would love to know where you were born, what childhood was like, who were the people around, was it a joint family, what was it like, and who were the key influences during your childhood?
So my both parents were government sort of employees, and mom worked in employment exchange, and dad was in commissioner office. And I think uh, so. Me, my elder brother, only probably one thing. So parents were very busy, managing their monthly and EMIs life, which is typical middle class who sort of build from nothing. We've seen them really struggling to build everything. Um, uh, and one of the things gift they gave us was actually not monitoring us what we're doing. Um, I don't remember my parents coming to single parent teacher meeting ever in my school. Okay, so they said as long as you passing, it's fine for me. Let's just keep it that way. And our childhood was completely outdoors. I mean, I was outdoor guy, and there are phases of my life where sometimes I come out of that and I leave that there. So up to like ninth, I could just barely pass. I mean, my out of 70 kids in a school, my ranking would be 63 or something like that. And I was outstanding
Sports
student
were there,
because
Abhijit? Just tell us about school. So you weren't a good student. Was there extracurricular? What were you busy with? Were you the guy who would be naughty and get in trouble, or you were the quiet guy throughout? What were you like in school?
so school was really I was outstanding student because I was standing outside the probably classroom most of the time, and it was really amazing because I felt that I had a very urge to come with sarcasm and one liner, including two teachers. So I was a backbencher, but because of the height, I had to sit on the front row. So any revenge on the backbenchers who were 6 feet or 7 feet tall with hair grown, everywhere, the teachers would take it on me because I was probably half their size, and then just so really had very difficult time with focusing on things, uh, but my mind could really go on possibilities, and I remember that I was a kind of maker. So uh, we had this so when I say outdoor, we had amazing things in and around our home. We have a blessed with a lake, which is 5 minutes away. We blessed with the old British barracks, where I remember every summer, every time we would be playing some game there. Um, and we and I mean, there was like 300 years old Bosla period structures, ruins were there, and it was like a daily life. You just go play there, come back, and used to rush from school just to wait that the bell will happen and go and jump into the lake. I mean, almost throw the bag while going and reaching out. We did everything. We used to throw bicycle in the lake, go down and take it out. We caught snakes, we caught crabs. There's nothing that we didn't do outdoors. Jump from the second floor on a sand. Everything, which, as long as the pact between me and my brother is that no one tells anything at home. Otherwise, we'll be killed at home. If they know what we're doing. So the whole childhood was, again, I was a quiet guy. I mean, I had a set of few friends and I'm very free with them. Otherwise, I'll just keep quiet in most places. Uh, I remember playing with the brick and a stone. And I realized that stone actually shaping the brick. I mean, there were no tools, there's no art class, there was nothing. I remember making sort of forms, cutleries out of the brick from the stone, taking some old wooden piece and trying to make things out of that. So thought of a lot of possibilities in a mind. I
So did
wanted to fix,
somebody
yeah.
show you this, Abhijit, or is some stuff you were figuring out yourself? You're going to some of the childhood pictures?
Shall I do that? So while
Sure, sure.
talking, I
I was
can show
asking
that.
you that did you figure out making stuff by yourself, or was there somebody who taught you or influenced you?
Really from myself, Sajid. There was, uh, I mean, some vague influences from here and there, but there were no really books. We didn't have access to any of the information. Um, uh, just felt nice. Maybe in our childhood, we used to go to village. We have around 150 kilometers away, and I used to love going in summer. And Nagpur is like a hotbed. Okay, 50 degrees. There's nothing else you can do. Dry like a soil everywhere, and mud and dust. But there was a video parlor, and 50 paisa a day, every day new movie, Bollywood movie on that. I mean, I watched so many movies. You have no idea. Every movie possibly, really bad Jayaprada, Jitendra ones, but to get to see a movie a day was a magical something, at 50 paisa.
Why
Uh,
I'm asking is no, because one thing very prevalent in your work, and you talk about also that it's very desi, that you are very proud about, what the source is. You're very proud about the fact that your design is very, very Indian, and you speak about also that that desi in design is what you look at. So these influence, you speak about the village and you speak about all that. Do you draw a lot from that when you design? Is there a lot of it which happened during your childhood? These influences, do they play a role also?
I'm not sure whether I can articulate that, Sajid, that way, but I've gone through various influences, so it's really you. So childhood, I realized that influences now. I can connect those dots now when I do it. But if you would have asked me in NID, I don't think I was at that pride or of my own self or where I come from, because everything was so new. And I mean, so I wouldn't have able to say that yes, it came from my childhood. But now I'm more and more connecting back. I'm finding reason why it happened. I'm analyzing it in that sense, and most comfortable I am with, I mean, in where you come from. It's very difficult to do things. Yes, I mean, you can do a project for because somebody needs it, but it comes so naturally when you look back and where you come from, and you try to sort of see how I can connect or celebrate, the entire your own culture or your own upbringing, in a way, in form of systems or products or anything. Now,
One last question,
everything's there.
before
Yeah.
we share the slides for that first part of your childhood, is so you spoke about you're not really a typical student or a studious type. So was this whole creative spark, was it because of the fact that you didn't enjoy studies, or was it something which was inherently there? Was it something you saw at home people doing? So what made you get into this thing of making stuff, or I'm just trying to draw that. Was there something in your childhood you can remember, or somebody which made you, sort of get that creative spark going?
I'm not sure, but I think I could see forms. I mean, I remember once there was a patch of this, your house inside wall in a rainy season will develop a sort of moisture patch, and I could see a human form in that, and I went into the pencil and drew.
Okay.
And obviously, not like today's parents. Wow, my parents would have taken picture and put in Instagram. I got a whack for that, spoiling the wall with the pencil and thing. So I tried hard to. I felt that drawing or that is something for me, but I failed in elementary drawing exam. I think no one fails in elementary drawing exam. Uh, Probably I'm the rare case who fails in elementary drawing exam. Yeah, I mean there's really nothing in that. Uh, so my mom almost told me that, beta, this is not your career, painting. So that art was completely gone because you can't even sketch to save your life. Um, but so this making part really drove me towards doing something. So I felt that then I joined technical school because I heard that you can do carpentry, wood, metal, and all the workshops. So workshop came handy, and that felt really amazing that you could do welding and you could do bend the metal, you can cut the thing, slice off the wood. So my relationship with the material started in my 11th standard, and it also I could avoid bio. So in 12th, so 11, 12, for some reason, 10th gave me a good set of marks, some 80%, and everyone was surprised at how he got 80%. That gave me that is the first transformation happened. So I started really focusing, sitting at one place and doing things. And I mugged up everything, 11, 12, saying that I need to get into now mechanical engineering. So that's how I could define design, making things. So I said, mechanical engineering, I can make things. So 11, 12, I did making things and said, okay, let me get into sort of college at some point. That's the closest I could get to making things. And I mean, I felt I didn't know what design was, obviously. NID came much, much later. I didn't even know
Before
this
that, NIT,
profession even
you had
exists.
done engineering, right? So where was that, or how did that happen?
So, like everyone else, I mean, 2 years of solid mugging, from 3 in the morning, you waking up to the level that I could remember everything. And uh, and I did well in 12th because you rattamaru so much, you really reach that point. I got some 94% in PCM and thing, and I got a government college admission in mechanical engineering, which is in western part of Maharashtra, very close to Pune. There's a place called Karad, and it was really there. And I mean, yeah, I mean, I was very happy that I got mechanical engineering till the time the formulas came in front of me. Then I realized that shit, I don't understand anything here. What's really going on? Uh, so that's how this childhood to maker to that sort of connect really happened. The other thing, for some reason, I don't know, at the childhood at 11th and 12th, I realized that I need to learn English because I studied in Marathi medium hybrid school. So even the English will be taught in Marathi, that kind of, you can imagine in those typical schools, in that. And it's a very studious school where everyone was coming in a merit list and thing like that. So then I started watching every English movie in town. I mean, I didn't understand anything, some of the movies, but I said, just sit there, come back. And I said, what happened? My friends will ask. I said, I have no idea, man. Something they said, and something happened. So I said, let me learn English because that's very important. I need to sort of connect to this. Uh, and I don't know if you guys in our generation, Friday night movies used to have international movies coming on Doordarshan. I saw many of them, and I saw them in NID later. A couple of Swedish films and Russian films. Uh, that it's kind of, I'm developing a virtual world of different exposure. I used to write to Australian embassy, American embassy, just for Khujli, just to get, and they used to seriously send a full document about Australia investment and things like that. And just looking at those 4 lane photograph, of the road, expressways, that discipline, that what they achieved, in, I'm talking about 80s, okay, 90s, early 90s, 80s, late 80s, uh, really connect very vague way that something that part is. And I behaved almost Firang, at home with little English. So my brother used to call me Garib Baap ka Amir Beta, So because this, I mean, my behavior was that for some reason, it really didn't matter. I would play guitar in the air for him, and but not tabla. Well, I mean, just some influences. I don't know what was really going on as a kid, what were you looking at.
Sounds good. So let's go to that first part slide share. If you can visually share that story, what you were showing till now. So Jigisha has come just in time for that visual part.
Hi, Disha.
Hi.
Slide does not come on. Just escape and try again. If you want to escape, just press the escape key.
Stop here.
Yeah, try the slide share again. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, my dad had this old Lambretta, and I mean, I remember whole life sort of revolving around that. I had later, much later, I got a Luna and thing. So I'm just trying to capture the visual elements which kind of came to, so what is the object and our relationship? It's very different than how we studied and we looked at Western world. And then uh, that's the, I mean, that's my standard first picture. Here is what I'm sitting here. You'll always find very amazingly dresses we would get. So my nani was, she used to stitch for all of us, all the, grandkids. And she used to really get bell bottoms and double layer things for us. In most of the pictures, you will find that's me and my brother. That's me and my brother. Very rare picture of going to studio and shooting. uh, you will find us a band party dress. It's the same dress. So I would wear my dress. When I grow up, I'll wear his dress. So I will look the same for next 3 4 years, because I would have a same set of pair, and no one really complained. Life was very beautiful. Once we gone to Bombay, and that's some picture with some my cousin in Bombay.
So Dhani was your stylist.
Nani was a stylist. Then that's the typical home, you would find that we built, in Nagpur. Uh, for some reason, while building the gate, I made Baba do very big gate. Okay, so everyone laughed at us saying that scooter के लिए इतना बड़ा gate क्यों चाहिए? So I said एक दिन कार आएगा उसके लिए अभी से prepare कर रहा हूँ. And it's really funny that whatever you wish and imagine, things do come, and car did come, and then the gate opened nicely, and then we said 800 came inside in life. That's the whole. This is my brother and lots of friends. I mean, cricket was the only thing we did: swimming, cricket, uh, going trekking to 90 kilometers on bicycle with all the ration and the puncture ka saman. And we stay there for 2 nights. Then if there's a rain, then we'll sleep in PWD pipes. There was no tent and all. What tent? We don't even know how the sort of thing happened. But it was so much fun that parents actually never said don't do this or do this. That's something I owe to them. With whatever little knowledge they would have, they said that you guys will take a good call about your life. uh, Down then, I don't know if you remember Andaz Apna Apna. There's a Wahwa studio, and we had a Wahwa studio called Famous Photo Studio. 20 rupees, 4 different poses. Okay, so it's like a little wooden camera he would shoot, and then me and my brother used to go into all the full Bollywood style shoot. Okay, there.
Exactly like
And
Baba Studio only, no?
uh,
It's exactly like Baba Studio in Andaz Apna
total
Apna.
Wahwa studio. I mean, nothing, just kick off about photography. Then this angle, that glasses, studios, lighting. And these are like, I mean, I don't know when we did, must be 88, 84, 87. It was so amazing that, we could really sort of build some things. But there was a lot of expression felt that, me and my brother would always stand out in terms of we could do what we have to do.
You
It was
should
not
go
cared
back and
about asking.
redesign his logo for him.
Uh-huh.
You should go back and redesign his logo
I
for him.
know. I hope that place is there. This is a beautiful lake. It's 300-year-old lake, was near my place. It's completely made out of black stone, and this is where you would come and jump into the thing. So my dad taught us swimming by tying a rope around your waist and throw you in the water, and till the time you doing your hand and leg, you're fine. Otherwise, you'll loosen the rope. So you're gulping the water. So you learned in one day. Swimming was like a survival, so everyone knew how to swim. There was no fear of water in any form. These are these old British barracks near my home. First time we saw broken western commode. And all the friends gathered around that saying that, ye kya hai yaar, isme kya hota hai? And there was a whole discussion on how the operation happens. And if that's the distance, and if this falls down, and will you put the leg up or a leg on that? So that's just really amazing. This is a 300-year-old swimming pool in Bosla period. This is, I think, after the East India Company came in, and just in that period where the influence of Marathas were waning down, and I think it's around 300 years old, and there's a story to that. We had a very lovely temple close. Just these are all 5 to 10 minutes walk from my home. Um, these are and some ruins of very beautiful structures. I mean, what, so amazing. I mean, this was the kind of childhood probably you could dream of, that no one is really telling you what to do. So yeah, I mean, that's my mother. Uh, then I think this is Aparna, Aurobindo, Arav, Ammu, Anna. This is my dad-in-law and mom-in-law. Then yeah, I mean, I met Ammu in Titan. She was really, really amazing. I mean, the kind of work we did together in Raga. With her, I was sort of guiding her that time, and I was mentoring on the project. And then the Anna happened, and then the whole life different changes. So these are the sort of phases of family and life really came together. Um, Anna is still here. Doesn't look that cute, but look more prettier.
Entry on cue.
Yeah, yeah. So go ahead. I will. We want me to skip this, talk
No,
something, or
carry on,
finish
carry
the
on.
engineering. Carry on. Shall I carry on?
Yeah, till NIT go on.
Yeah. So again, as I said, engineering was completely misfit till the formulas came, strength of material, and thing. Only thing I could do is create there. Lot of competition, lot of making, poster making, and I realized that I cleared all the exams only because university had to pass those many number of people. Otherwise, they have a more accountability than anyone else. Uh, I written same thing again and again 3 4 times, and I still passed with some minimum marks. Very difficult to get that. Um, that's a very lovely building, lovely school, in this college. Uh, for some reason we got into basic programming, and I could claim that I must be one of the first UI UX guy in 92. Okay, where I'm designing these games. So we did this game where this snake kind of thing. So you close the loop and a computer versus you play. First time I applied trigonometry in basic programming, 32,000 lines of programming. My partner, his name was Narayan Murthy. I wish he was other Narayan Murthy, but he was a brilliant guy in programming, and I would do all my UI UX, how things to come together. We actually did a program those days to teach how to learn perspective. So 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, how animation will happen, the dots will appear, and it will show you the
Ahead of
uh,
your time.
a lot of model making. We won a lot of awards. I mean, that award and competition started that time. We got the keys to computer lab those days. 5 inches, that floppy was big. Floppy was a big thing. I don't even know what was the thing. It was not even 3486 or whatever. It's even earlier than that. So we were these heroes in slow motion. We'd walk because we have a computer lab key, in AC. So it was just amazing, sort of feeling. So engineering was completely about doing this many things other than the what engineering could really teach me.
So, Abhijit, if you could stop the slide share. Now, fantastic journey. Just to sort of recap, I mean, that whole place, your pictures, like I think what Kavita messaged on the group, it's like a film, a premise for a film. Everything from your friends and figuring out what a commode does and stuff. It's a perfect backdrop for this. So when you were in engineering, how did you first hear about NID, or who told you about NID? How did that happen? How did that whole thought process or of moving from engineering to design?
So in so there are very well exposed. So very good friend of mine. His dad is very big architect. His Berry Architects in in Maharashtra is very big. Nitish. So he used to get Sunday times because he had a kinetic Honda those days. So he's the best friend. Like
And
Sajid was the best friend with the bike or something. Huh?
ultimate guys.
Ultimate guy, kinetic Honda those days, right? So he gave me one cutout from Sunday Times saying that, hey, you always do this. Here's something called IDC in IIT, and they are doing a grad show. See, they're doing this car and some products and things like that. Um, that's my first connect to know there's something called design. Then I started following up about IDC. I also got to know about NID, in some way. I was in third year. At one point, I thought, shall I appear now or just another year? Let me just complete now one degree and I'll go try to attempt to go there, on that. And then I entered both the exams. I love the NID exam. In our time, the way you write your application was your first screening. There was no entry exam. I wish I have a copy of that. Very beautiful things you have to write and sketch there and should send that. Uh, and So I'd gone through first round of NID. I'd got through first round of IDC at same time. Um, but when I went to IDC, I passed the thing. I got shortlisted there. Then I went to NID. I did my workshop test, and I remember the first moment I entered in NID. Um, I mean, it's that Avatar Connect, right? With your that flying thing that really happened with eyes becoming green, and syncing with that. And this is what is meant for me. This is something I was looking for. I couldn't express. I couldn't articulate, but this is where I'm meant to be, And I'm gonna, if I get through, I'm gonna be here. And 2 days of, I mean, the interviews were really fun. I mean, I was scared because most of the time we've been laughing in interviews, some random questions asking, piece of paper and in a desert, what you will do, give us a 10 sort of exam, applications of that and things.
By then, was your English all smooth?
Manageable,
Okay.
so, but I think also felt comfortable because one of the your panel would speak you in Hindi. So, they can guess, sort of gauge the people's sort of caliber and manage their, how they're really talking to us. So that really didn't become a sort of hindrance in terms of explaining what's really been there. Remember second day evening, we walking towards, ED's office, and there's a softboard where they used to put up a list. And because of A and B, the first name was, mine. I remember Sanandan was there, Susie was there, Prakash was there. Um, Really, I mean, felt like, like a butterflies, in your stomach, saying that, my God, I'm done. But there was really two challenges. I mean, yes, the money was a problem. Parent had to pay a lot of money through NID for my fees. IDC, I would have got 2,500 stipend per month because it's a PG thing. So just imagine again that Amir, Garib Baap ka Amir beta, you see the chuck it, you guys manage money, I'm being here, I don't want, I'm going to let my stipend go away. Uh, and they said, okay, I mean, it's your call. We'll do what best we can, we'll manage from that. Yeah, I mean, I felt, yeah, I mean, that place really connects you. Each one of us has a very different connection with that. Love it or hate it, but it can't get away, I mean, you, whether it's that bird shit smell to the canteen, Pappu Bhai Khana, to rains, everything, that PD studio, that lighting, everything remains so etched on our mind and on life that we know that these 3 years look back. I think the most we talk about is our NID time. not the awards and not the
Okay, got
juries
your
and
idea.
not the travel, you know.
Once you got to campus, no, what were the key influences, or was it seniors? Was it just the campus? What did you take away from NID when you look back and see?
So I think the ragging was really fun after going through what you go through in engineering, which was like disgusting level to the multiply by 10. This was like a cakewalk, you know. I mean, just was like having fun, you know, with everything. I mean,
Did
and
I
then
rag
you
you,
see,
Bansod?
I'm sure was we did a lot of good miming every day. I mean, we used to always come up with something, so it was quite fun. I remember Bala. I think Eeks was the scariest of lot for some
Come
reason for everyone, you know, I guess. And Bala would have this very unique way of irritating you. He'll call in his room, then say, "What is water?" H2O. Then you say, "Catch H and 2 and O and make a water in my room." And he'll go to sleep. I mean, he's snoring away, and we still trying to look at each other and saying, "Okay, man, अब क्या करना है? ये तो सो गया बंदा, you know, बाहर जाना है, क्या करना है?" So, I mean, it was so much fun, yaar. You know, every day, every moment was something to learn. And when you walk in, so I did have a okay. So my last day of exam of engineering, and next day I was in NID. Okay, that passed. So I had to really 6 o'clock finish the exam. All things are packed. Put it in a bus overnight to Bombay, then a train and reach maybe day after whatever to Ahmedabad. And I'm in auditorium. Vikas is talking about welcome note and thing like that. And call me Vikas happened, and I said, wow, yeah, sir bhi nahi hai, kuch nahi hai, to बहुत ही अलग जगह है यार ये तो. But it almost felt like this is so amazing, this is me somewhere, without sort of putting a very thing. So there was no culture shock. I felt like finally I reached where I wanted to be in some way. And and I think I saw, I think maybe Dinah drinking raw milk from the packet, half-liter packet and all. I said, wow, what a cool seniors here, man. And for initial time, high became a very sort of winking of both eyes, as it became a very mute high to each one, for some time. Then you give up that also, but for some time that goes on. Then I said, okay, I'm also going to drink this very raw milk. From tomorrow I want to look cool. Then for 1 week I drank, and I had almost lose motions for another 10 days after that. And I said, what shit is going on, man? Why are they drinking this raw milk? Then I said, okay. So you just absorbing, trying. Then all of a sudden you see this, was Elias was doing his model, that fire engine thing. I said, wow. I mean, wow. I mean, you're just on the floor, yeah. How can this appear? When I will do it, I mean, when my time will come, mera waqt
I
kab
remember
aayega
that fire
kind of a
engine.
story. Huh?
I remember that fire engine, the amount of
Oh
detail
my
he had.
God, unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, and then you go to animation studio, there's something happening. Everyone was so talented, and everyone was so amazingly smarter. Uh, that I forgot the teacher's name. So first time I held pencil again back after failed in elementary, probably in NID. That's the time I started doing straight line.
Was it with Nayak,
No, it wasn't Nayak.
Vimal Panchal, or Parmar,
No. I
Narendra
forgot his
Bhai,
name.
Nunu Bhai, Nunu?
Mm. Okay, I'll remember
Okay.
some point. So I felt that I mean, there was so you could be find yourself, and I'm sure you getting intimidated by so many things. There are people playing amazing guitars. They knew all the English songs. Uh, yeah, even if I buy all the Archie's lyrics books, I would know those songs, ever. Uh, and they could sketch, they could speak so well. They had an articulated view about everything, whether it's AEP, versus social versus this versus that, and for a long time, and then I never got caught up with this AEPPP. It was quite strong, at least in first year. I remember, became a lot of fights in this. Uh, and then I was in this middle that that boss and you will ask तू साला उनके तरफ से कि हमारे तरफ से and मैं किसके तरफ से हूँ यार मैं इधर ही हूँ so it's just really funny that we gone through that entire thing. um it Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just made me, I mean, every moment of NID where, you kept on adding new skills. Um, I kept on collaborating in very small way, I mean, all remember Diana would do colors for me. Dahi had done one of the logo for my, one of the TCP. Um, and one of the things I always had is that how much other departments have to talk and speak to their faculty. I had nothing to talk to my PD faculty. Okay, I could see this animation guy sitting on a gate, talking for 1 hour, 2 hour, and Hamara, pata nahi, I mean, the PD was so functional in some way that T for parting line pe khatam ho gaya. Plastic parting line discussion is only about mold se niklega ki nahi and all that. Uh, so this to Ravi Mukashi to great level I connected, but I don't think it was really acquiring a lot of skills for me of
How was it?
representing my
Was
ideas.
it nature and form lever effect or Khanna ji?
Yeah,
Because
I
you
think
do
it's a
talking.
longest project I would have done because I'd done some this bird who cleans the crocodile teeth and form for that, and Kanaji would come and like singing like that, and would say, "अरे यार वो नहीं आया इसमें," and we never got to know what is that wo. I mean, I said to Shala sir, can I take that seed and plant it? Maybe in 5 years, I would know what is that wo is. Then we figured out that if somebody praises that model, then he kind of likes that. So we planted people, that, on cue that you have a, when I'm explaining this, Bose will come and say, hey, lovely nature and form. Is it a crocodile? Is it a bird? Wow. And he'll go. And then Sandeep Pillai will come and say something. Uh, and then that's how it really got. But uh, I'm still doing that woe, I mean, I still haven't
I have
found
to show you a demo. I want to put my spotlight after our this thing when we had our nature. Kanaji used to shoot the models. So for example, let's say this is the nature form model, no? So he'd already focus the camera and keep it, and then he'd move the model till it comes to focus, and then click it. So that was Kanaji sort of taken me singing, and then move that around. But I guess nature and form did leave an impact because I see a big. I mean, in a lot of your work, there seems to be a lot of inspiration from that.
Um,
Sorry, I got
true.
myself.
Yeah. I guess I think the form became a very expressive for I mean any PD thing, and there were different layers of understanding got added over a period of time. So I could never become a pure industrial design with complex machine thing. Yes, I could do, but it doesn't come from my heart when I do that. Um, so it's really fun to bring cultural aspect, story converting into form, and that form sort of becomes interpretation for each one to see a different thing in each. It's a point of view, what really come. So it continues. I mean, I do a lot of. I mean, I was just looking at my products inspired by tree. There are massive amount of collection over a period.
Yes.
Very subconsciously it happened, and I do connect all of this back to probably our life we lived in that, which sometimes it's very difficult to articulate because you're on that run and treadmill. You don't know what's really going on, and you're not really taken a pause to look, from how it really came. But lately, I've been really connecting these two dots, and Ashok Chatterjee asked me to write a white paper or, I mean, a paper on connecting this entire heritage and marketplace commercial brands could develop from in own heritage.
Oh, nice.
um, that's the first time I wrote 3,000 words something. But the most amazing part was that I would set 500 words to him, and his feedback would be 5,000 words. And I said, "Oh God, you know."
Imagine.
It took me
Words you
months
can't
to
put
really
that on.
figure out. I asked Anna whether I'm typing it right, and he's giving me feedback longer than the original piece. I said, "Can I copy paste what you've written? That's better articulated than my own write up."
Abhijit, on that note, do you want to share the NID pictures, the slides next?
Sure.
He's like Shashi Tharoor's cousin, no?
He's damn sweet, yeah. I mean, unbelievably simple person
Yeah, he's
that
really
is
passionate
still.
whatever he does.
Yeah, so just to tell you NID story. So MGD called me because I went to next day. So that, hey, whenever you pass, you need to submit your diploma, whatever degree document. and I haven't submitted yet. So NID doesn't have any record that whether I passed my BE exam. And that's you heard that couple of places, and it really didn't matter. That I don't know. Any one of you still have this one? It's just so
Hey, one sec.
amazing, man.
The photographer like
See,
you'll bash him
uh,
up. You're looking at the photographer like you'll bash him up. Yeah, go for it.
I mean, we had to wear a tie and all, when photographs, especially those days. This is my first picture of NID when I went there for a workshop test. I mean, and that's it, yeah. I mean, beyond that, you still feel that, you smell that, you temperature, that winter, that chai, and rain. You getting everyone is coming out on, the lawns
This be.
uh, and the bhajis, yeah, magical bhajis there. Um,
Yeah.
every element looked amazing. Those Seva women were so inspiring who could wash those pebbles one by one, once a year, twice a year. It looked like it's impossible here. I never seen a place where they're gonna clean every pebble which is kept there. I mean, how lukha in the world, one has to be. Uh, PD studio mostly empty. I think it's just. I mean, PD had a very different. I mean, there's a story that Vikas got a couple of international visitors. While all the studios were working, PD studio, he only found a couple of people sleeping on a bench or something like that, on the desk. So he probably said that I'm not going to bring people to PD studio again. But it was a very amazing strategic location, end of it. Uh, and I think it was beautiful. I love the lighting and time we had there. Uh, my A block host thing was very close to tree, and there was a kite nest. Every time I'll go to dry my clothes, the kite will attack, because of feeling that I'm gonna do something there. So I've taken a picture of that. I remember this very distinctively. Um, Various pictures, I mean, that goatee period we had. I think I don't know. Remember the context of that? We all had some goatee, couple of us, uh,
Why are you looking at me so
having
romantically
this
also? Very
Japanese
romantic.
visitors with their cameras, oh, kach, 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 kach. I remember 50 of them taking all cameras and flashing, and then taking pictures. Sanandan, Shweta, Meghna, Rene, Anand Hingne and me are been classmates from engineering. So I remember I used to sit in engineering and see his sketches. So I used to, when I came to NID, I told him to, attempt to come here. So not first attempt, then second attempt to came, he joined NID. That's the little batch. I mean, it madness. I mean, what uh, I guess most of you will remember Abhijit Omelette.
The
Swear
most
that.
famous omelette.
Yeah, I wish I would have charged him even 10 paisa or something. I would have earned better money,
Royalty.
royalty.
You would have become like Elon Musk.
Seriously, man, I was just calculating, how many 20 years, 365 days, how many, thinking that. But that was, see, these are the experiments where you are seeing that you are impacting something without measuring the impact of that. You seeing you're happy your name is on his menu card, in Gujarati, he's giving you discount for 6 months, he said, Aapko kya charge karna, aapne banaye types, Then I said, Chodo
It was
dhanda
his
kaise
bestseller
karoge?
omelette also, no?
Yeah.
It became the bestseller omelette.
Yeah, I mean, at least I remember it started some amazing, and he was very entrepreneurial. So many people added their dishes. I remember Varsha, Half Fry, Dinah's had something. Uh, all those names are still there in his menu.
So you could,
Um, I who were there remember my half pant bag. Um,
I remember the mango
I,
bag.
yeah, so this is really you could express and do things, and I remember how many pun jokes we cracked on this bag in a canteen in tea time. you know I remember your pen is mightier than the sword wala tagline and all came handy. I used to see you guys in Monsoon Fiesta, you Suresh, you're like magical, yeah. You guys keep on talking in Spinayan. I used to think how it's possible. It's impossible. These guys have, what is the brain and mouth is wired to continuously speak like that. Uh, and before you could crack, Sajid's three will be there, not one. One, two, three. By the time you're thinking, okay, let me crack a better joke this time. But it was so much fun of really those exchanges in workshop, doing those Babu Bhai, Manu Bhai, helping you doing those model making. I love model making. I mean, I still, if I get opportunity, I mean, now it's really changed with the 3D thing. But my soul comes when I make the model, and I truly enjoy that part. Um, uh, so very fun making this complicated model,
I remember this one
doing
also.
this lasted pretty long. Pradyumna is one of the favorite. He took it to everywhere. Repainting and doing. He still talks about this model. He was my guide. Uh, remember doing the tablets for the buttons. Buying the pharmaceutical tablets, sewing them on sandpaper, painting them. Then the word transfer. I don't know, word transfer used to get A,
Yeah.
B, C, D, and then you transfer them and
That's
paint
it.
them. It was so much fun, and uh, then your own Giri, Susie been modeling for that. I have to tell you, the right side to 3D render image, this was a gift from Shubho and our technology man Bhupesh. Um, they saw and they loved the model, saying that, hey, you want to do 3D? I said, okay, please. I mean, why are you asking? These guys for 1 week didn't sleep and develop this on their own. I mean, and I used to really wonder. I'm sleeping aramsi in my room. These guys are just doing. They were so obsessed with creating that we have to create the layer transparency. We need to know how this is done, um, and that kind of a passion. Without it's not your project, but you just want to get involved because you believe in that. That something was such a learning. Yeah, I mean, I can't see that kind of a engagement or um, sort of thing between us. People will help writing. People will help in anything. I remember even next slide. I had to ask Alka to write my application to Titan when I was coming to Bangalore.
Is there also
Uh,
influences of seniors and stuff in your design here? I can see a very distinct Neil Foley, Amit Gulati, those kind of influences in product design.
I'm sure it would, because see, your world was so small. Your world was your neighbors, and maybe ID magazine, where ultimately your life is achieved if you see your product in IT, new and notable, that category. Um, and then just sort of you keep on pushing the boundary. So it's really, as you very rightly defined, and I could never define myself that, when you talked about me, about I could absorb things and become that. So that just the hunger of doing right. But in within that learning, you put your own kida and you do your own thing, and do your own perspective. I'm sure Bose has been we did many projects together. We hung around for most, Dinah was the model for default all the products, and color consultant. Uh, really became a lot of influences which would really help. This was a bookshelf. We went to New Delhi railway station, the GD and PD team, everyone was there. It was really great fun there. Making that miniature, planning what will be the scale of magazine and shooting it, planning it, will be postcard picture, how it would really come together. And it was really fun making this miniature model. That's the letter which Alka had written, I found yesterday, about internship thing, because I remember Bose used to call my handwriting a dot matrix font, saying that don't even bother. So by default, Alka being architect, she always had a very beautiful handwriting. I said, okay, you need to write my application. Um,
It's a very product design
so
handwriting. A lot of people have that, no? It's a good observation, Kavit.
which is that?
That handwriting is quite a few people in the product design studio had that handwriting.
Yeah. So this was Alan made for poster for my Pradeep Shuru. Uh, um, and this is another sketch, I think, done by Swami. I remember in canteen. So yeah, cap was always a part of that. There always to be some logo or some message. Then topi became a big thing. Then I mean, always had some interesting stories really going on. But JL Naik hated my pant. He didn't say that in front of me ever. I got to know because of Shimul. Shimul was very close, and I used to do things. He said that he really hates your pant. He feel disgusting looking at you. You wearing that pant on a neck. But he never said that. I mean, he could accept that, and we could accept everyone the way they were. That's was the beauty of NID in a way. That, yeah. So that was. I mean, I could really summarize. I mean, in my retrospective, I've written that I lived every bit of NID, and very badly handwritten thing. I have a draft, and every bit of NID will live with me. I mean, so that's really summarizes my relationship with NID. I was on my own nasha, it's on a high of doing things. I mean, I would plan everything. I'll start workshop, come back, participate in whatever best we could, in things around you.
Into
Uh,
Bhatti, one of the famous Bhatti
Total
dish.
Bhatti case. I mean, our Bhatti parties were famous, uh, and I remember going across the bridge, getting the whiskey packed in a polythene bag, and come back, and had no idea whether your eyes will be open tomorrow morning. But it was so much fun, and those cassette parties, and Bhupesh's Laser movies, and Jurassic Park, uh, everything. I mean, each thing was like a mini set or mini experience where everyone is putting maybe 200%. You would do one poster and you would see VC's a massive 30 feet poster coming next day from nowhere. You felt like a dwarf, saying that, my God, how on earth this has happened in overnight? Uh,
The one person
and
who was cheering the loudest for ID. So, Bansur, how did Titan come about? Was there somebody you knew who was already there? What made you think of Titan as your internship?
mm, there were very few options you heard of those days. I remember there was a Bajaj Auto studio, there was a Telco, there were few
Samsung.
studios, and there was Titan Design Studio.
Yeah.
So if anyone you ask, those only drop down menu only had those few options. Uh, Whether you would get into Titan because you heard, oh, I mean, you almost had Mike works there. I mean, it has to be so that level, right? If Mike is doing a job there, means something really big happening there.
Yeah, he was a
And
benchmark product design.
I mean, he was beyond benchmark. I mean, something you can't attain that kind of a benchmark,
Wow.
in terms of anything. I mean, you see his sketches, Eicher tractor sketches in NID, and you think that, my God, where on earth this is happening, So kind of skill sets, understanding of form, putting it together. So I remember going for Nisha's wedding. I think, and with Bose, Ruchi, the whole gang had gone. That time I went and met Kaushik, who used to head a design studio, and he looked at my thing, and then he just looked at me saying that, "So when do you want to join?" And I didn't know what to say, and I said that, "Yeah, I'll just finish my pre-dip, and I'll come back and join." And he said, "Okay, come quickly." That's about it. So it was just 5 minutes thing. He asked a couple of things. So things were very easy. I didn't have to really struggle, but had to put little efforts to at least being there. Make those portfolios those days, planning, you won't get a consistent paper in your portfolio because Rupkala won't have that gray paper again. So you had sometime pink paper coming, green paper coming board, at the end of it. And then again, sort of very old type of portfolios, you could really do. Yeah, so Titan, then the diploma project sort of happened in Titan. Um,
Yeah.
so this was like a transformational moment for me, where Jacob Kurian was head of marketing and he wanted to do craft clocks for something reason. So he said, you need to figure out there's a craft in Etikopakka. You go there and get it done. Let's try. We'll do attempt to do clocks in using Indian craft. And I used to do okay because that was not connected by flight, Visakhapatnam. And I became very corporate, arrogant type, said, oh, I have to go by flight there because I saw everyone flying, here and there. And one day he came and shouted at me that, if you don't get these samples in next 1 week, I'll throw you out of time. So I quietly took a bus, 24 hours, bad journey in local bus and reached there, okay, in the village. Um, and then the whole thing started. But while going there, working with craftsmen, resolving a very different opportunity of bringing precision engineering and a handcraft together. Otherwise craft existed in only toys. There was no two elements came together in our work. Um, and I think that's what going to Etikopaka, staying with them, doing some amazing work. They were magical here, what they could do. Again, going back to R&D and fighting with them, let's give them a simpler tools to manage. They don't understand drawing. How they're gonna do 10,000 of these precisely? How do you manage? How do you take care of the inaccuracies of handmade thing? So there a lot of this, maybe engineering came handy, product design approach came handy of solving all those things.
Abhijit,
Um,
can I just pause you there for a second?
please.
So I think you said in a very very quick manner, but I think it's a massive effort because, like you said, before that, craft was only used for usually toys or tourism things. There was no high precision stuff, and it's actually quite a big breakthrough, even first for thinking, Titan to think to design that way. And the achieving part is a very very complex thing because that really sets the tone for what you've been doing right now. That whole thing of taking craft and being able to do it with mass scale manufacture while empowering them, teaching them and keeping all the idiosyncrasies of craft, because yes, if you've got to get their trust, you've got to go there and they've got to feel that you understand it. And that's a very critical part which you just breezed through, and I think it's a big breakthrough because it's not done before, and it's quite a historic aspect you were part of. That's why I wanted to just touch upon that a little bit, and then go back to showing the clocks.
So yeah, I mean, see, I had no choice. There's a company which pride itself in a precision and perfection, and now I am become this in between guy who has to manage both ends, because R&D will always try to find some mistake or other. Yes, the marketing team was amazing. I mean, that whole core team, I remember, was very brilliant. I mean, they would support you for anything new. It was like really extending NID life in that, because there was no sir business in Titan also. So it felt so natural transition to that, with more power to do more bigger things because you have more money, more team to do things. So this whole part of bringing craft and technology together, it really shaped me. And still now I don't use one craft and any of a product. We always have two crafts coming together. Some very high technical engineering parts get integrated in that, so they play a important equal partner role in creating the opportunity or creating the product experience. Not doing because and I never negotiated with craftsmen ever. uh, so you charge whatever, this is what you would get. Of course I don't have a scale like Fab India anything, um, but I felt that it needs to be given them their respect for what they bring in. So my work remained in this experiments of technology and craft. For example, later I did a Bluetooth speaker and Jaipur pottery, Kundan jewelry and USB. So this, it became a formula in my mind that I need to bring technology which brings connects to today's urban needs, because what was happening is that we focus on craft, but we're not focusing on user don't care. I mean, they can value only this country. The craft is the cheapest in a whole pyramid, of that handcraft is not valued as you go to Murano or you travel abroad. uh, so that's something I felt, that if you have to give a reason for them to buy a craft product, we need to give a utility of their life, that universality of that, bringing a very urban utility to those products which make sense. And these clocks what I shown, they're still working at my place. It's 22 years old clock. It's just behind in my shelf, still there.
So go back to the slides and
Yes.
you can see the clock. People are saying wow for the clocks, and I disturbed that flow.
Yeah, so these dials were done by Ram. He I mean, we really collaborated. So it was really beautiful. They were really beautiful. I mean, I look very sukoon milta hai isko dekh ke, shanti milti hai this project. They are not coming at you, They're still doing their bit. They were so, and we did pretty good number. Yeah? I mean, for a craft, did to 8 to 10,000 of these, put together.
And they still look
It
relevant. Yeah. It's still not, I mean, it's not dated at all.
and it won couple of awards here there, but I mean that's another story. Award story. Um, so this part gave me an opportunity. Then in between, we traveled to Big Titan was very kind. I mean, they will let you travel to many places way ahead of your time. I mean, I've done a shortest foreign trip just to sign one dial, okay, to Thailand, which was 3 hours. So I landed there. I took a cab, went to factory, signed, came back, and because I had another. I mean, it felt like how important your life is that you're sent to Thailand to just sign one dial, and came back in 3 hours. That's the stay of a country, shortest I could do. So they were very kind. You're part of all the conversation of sales meet. You understand how powerful marketing their company it is, that they could really build. They believe in things, they will go for it. They will support you with new ideas. Uh, um, and this where then this started coming this whole craft, and I realized that I'm really good at picking up the date stories around my life. um, and I remember in some way in 98 Tantra t-shirts became very big, right? First time we saw very quirky Indian stories coming on t-shirts and things like that. So I think that sort of gave me saying that why not watches? So Swatch has been celebrating so much work and saying that can I do watches? And this was, and most of the projects I'm showing you is my self initiative in Titan. They never asked for it, but they supported with everything. So I mean that was really fun part of Titan. So we did this whole masala series where you could see parking is an empty thing and no parking has a whole life happening there. There's a Bombay Chaddi inspired, your grandpa Chaddis also come onto the watch. Uh, Talking about the aerodynamics of that loose Chaddi, thing. Uh, and they were mad enough to actually support that. And they then sort of went ahead and tied up with the MTV for promotion of this. Just I hope this video plays. It's a short video.
New fast track MTV Masala watches, rupees 500 only, inspired by genuine nonsense.
Yeah. So and then you started. I mean, for me, I started getting this confidence in where I come from, and after this project, I mean, I only did what I like. Titan kind of became a medium because it's kind of supporting me and they have to. I would do what they want, saying that I will do what I want. So uh, then went to a lot of time to Switzerland, and I looked at it that how they celebrate their one little house in one little village, how the Omega started, and then whole history of the watch would really come. And that's really inspired me to look at our own timeline of architecture, because architecture timelessly captured various visual influences in your country. So you have, so I visualize this saying that can I do a Indian version of watches? What is the India in watches? So I suggested let's not use Roman numbers, try to do calligraphy. We'll do whatever. I'm saying that you continue to do what is selling, but let me do what I have to do. So this was really amazing idea of heritage, and I did this collection in 2001. So which had a whole Hindu, Islamic, Rajputana, Islamic, and colonial influence of architecture journey captured in a watch form. And from 2001 to 2006, every board meeting I would take those prints like a protester, outside, thing that you're not launching this, you're not doing anything. Finally, Bhaskar agreed to do this in 2006. And he said very wonderful thing. He's saying that now India is ready for India. And it was such a powerful line because you could travel in early 2000 to Europe. You would find window dressing inspired from India. You will find mehndi stuff. A lot of Indian textile would really come and things like that. Yeah, so this is some examples of that watch. This is Mandala. This watch is inspired from, the manifestation of square grid, which is all Hindu architecture is based on, and your amazing stepwells, which we grew up seeing in and around us, is a manifestation of that. So this is inspired from stepwells. Um, Another one is Kurukshetra, and how do you really bring the whole story of Gita on a watch and the war of Kurukshetra. Again, there was a Stamba, there was Lakshmi Vilas Palace, Jantar Mantar, Taj Mahal, a whole series of architectural influences coming on that. And this, I had to do this in China because none of the Indian vendors factory could really do that. That's why we realized that how China is way ahead of that. You explain them the concept, even this sketch you could see, they could convert that for you. And that kind of power, if you would have got as Indian thing, would have been amazing. Um, so extending this, then I remember Mr. Desai was amazing, passive influence, or just watching him doing that. He was a founder of Titan. He was a very amazingly stylish man, and he would take us to Basel. He would book a castle, and he will make us have a 7 course meal. With different cutlery, different things coming together, and he'll come and pat and back and saying that, Abhijit, if you don't enjoy luxury, how will you ever do luxury watches for me? And very deep. So extending, so each one is leading to another. So then I visualized this palace collection. I traveled to 19 palaces, managed to stay in a couple of them, including Rambagh Palace, Umaid Bhavan, Jodhpur, Lake Palace, Udaipur, Falaknuma, Hyderabad. It was under construction that time. So this is the Rambagh Palace collection. Um, so each one, then I realized that I have to have a story to tell. I can't do forms. I have very few watches, but I will have my form, my stories, the inspiration from where they come from. So Polo Bar is where after polo match, all the prince and kings will hang around. Um, so that inspired this watch. Had a It's only 49 of each color made, and it was very it was a Swiss movement. You could see inside, limited edition. Um, there's a very beautiful lotus font in Rambagh Palace. Anyone of you visited there? So this is very beautiful. I really one of my favorite watches. These are blue treated diamonds and a white gold. And there's a mother of pearl double layered, like almost a dreamy like of thing. So I could imagine Rajmata Gayatri Devi on, and then imagine that how happy she'll be when she gets this watch, when I design. This is again rose gold and white gold combination. Unfortunately, when the launch happened, she passed away just before that, and I could never really gift this watch to her. Um, yeah, I mean, see, that's the Titan which really defined thing. Working with Mike, working with Neil, working with Kaushik. So each time I'm entering into new zone of very audacious level from my earlier, from no pencil to amazingly skilled people in NID, from NID to amazingly talented designers and a company which values that. So what I picked up is in now Indian stories, Indian craft, international sophistication. I think these are the layers of started adding to my work and understanding, and sort of started defining it. Titan allowed us to do freelance. So this is my first collection I did of home accessories in Java City. I had to sell my Kinetic Honda to get the vendor to give me my products. But first day of this event, my salary was 7,500 that time. Uh, First day I sold worth material 40,000, and I had never seen 40,000 cash in my life. And I mean, just pile of cash and looking at it and saying that, my God, this is something new. What experience is this? So bit of entrepreneur journey started along with the Titan, when we really do that. A lot of my earlier product were influenced from Western travels and Alessi. Alessi was a big influence on storytelling and form. And a lot of different materials, there was never a material thing. I could push any material to do anything, from aluminum, glass, integrating acrylic, aluminum, stainless steel, laser cut. But it wasn't about the process, it was about the story. as you said, nature and form, the glue, this tape is again a very sort of nature and form story. शायद I found my woe, what Khanna ji left me halfway, by in early of that. Yeah, I mean, and then some point that entrepreneurial bug saying that okay, now you need to go on your own, um, because I couldn't do watches anymore. I mean, it was fun to do, but it was a very limited space to explore. By now, we are thinking of a lot more ideas. So your space is increasing, your perspective is increasing. You're finding your own niche to really build something. Um, so I remember I spoke to Revati, who was head of design after Mike left, and Bhaskar, that I know I want to leave. But they said wait for a year, train the team, and then you could go. So that's how I moved out of the year. Then my first project was the Palace Collection. Um, and they were always kind to take you for launches or introduce you on a stage. So they were never shy of putting designer in front. So Lakeview Farm was where the studio started, where we just used to, it's very close to my house, to walk there many weekends, and said, imagine we have a studio here. So I just went and asked, and he said, yes, there's a place. And it grew from one to another, and we added annexure to that. We built. There's a lovely fig tree. We call it a figment of imagination. Kind of symbolizes the amount of the giving part in idea. And I take this as an example to team, saying that that's the opulence of thing we could do, and keep sort of building the newer stories on that. From empty room to became more, and grew over a period of time. Um, yeah, Sajid, I'll take a break. You can just sort of 2 minutes. Please.
So, just to know, Abhijit, that when you started off, right? Did you start off with projects, Abhijit? There are some specific projects that made you start off?
I had only one project in hand, which was the Palace Collection, which was good enough to take care of my survival for a year. Then I think another year, then just one thing led to another. I had no business plan. There was another friend of mine, engineer, who's coming back from Dubai, and another graphic designer. He said, we're coming back to India. I said, just guys, come in. We'll start something. We'll figure out. So just two of us started doing the work. Um, then Ammu joined because she was pregnant with Anna, and then she quit Titan. So became three people then from two. Um, Madan was my first employee. He's still there. From 2,500 is was salary, but now he leads the whole production team. So he's been with me longer than even Studio ABD existed. So just two, three of us. I mean, really no idea. It was just passion driven. Just felt good and started. I mean, I really didn't know how to. We had no business. We had no clients.
So what were your
Um,
central philosophy or values? Was craft going to be part of it? Is it about making a difference? What were the things that you spoke about?
as long as I get to tell a story, and I celebrate some part of my cultural connect. And when I wrote, said everyone said write about what Studio ABD should do. So it sort of said that it will find a new Indian design vocabulary. So I was quite intrigued by Japanese design philosophy, Scandinavian design philosophy, and I always wondered how we would define Indian design philosophy. Is it an improvisation, jugaad? Like textile was so part of our life, infrastructure to craftsmanship. Industrial design was extremely opposite. It was struggling. I mean, the toughest profession is industrial design in India, in my opinion, because we're still struggling to get things right. So you don't have brands who gonna celebrate you. You go to the store, they will say, you give me your products in consignment. Tried that business but failed because half of the things didn't sell, and didn't realize that okay, that's a very different mindset of running a product company. Services was easier because there was something coming in, and you could grow organically on that. So mix of both. We opened a store in Lakeview Farm. So whatever we could earn from services, I knew that I won't be able to do what I want. Hence, the my own products or our own collection becomes an expression of that Indian philosophy. experiments in a way. I stopped doing a lot of lacy looking European products. I said I'll only do Indian design, only do Indian stories, where I come from. I mean, that's what I focused on over a period of time in that.
So, Abhijit, one thing I wanted to speak about, which I think a lot of people don't know, or people know but you don't highlight it, is that Rashmi Bansal, in one of her books, she speaks about that whole book was about, I think, entrepreneurs who've not taken an MBA, who have not done management, and have managed to sort of blaze their way as an entrepreneur. I wanted you to speak about that and how did that happen. And one, it is a big pride for us from NID to see that you were featured in a book and there's a chapter dedicated to you. So tell us a little bit about that. How did that come about, or what did you speak about there?
There's a guy who used to organize Cerebrate. He's Kiruba Shankar. He's pretty active, used to be active on digital social media. And he had got this 10 amazing people together, and they could just interact with each other. There was no audience to them. And so I had this filmmakers, actress, technology guy, farmer, all of us are really talking to each other. I think through that, when that got sort of shared, set of us, I think Rashmi would have noticed that and she got in touch with me. Uh, I guess also the Red Dot Award happened by then, so some publication would have gone across in terms of design and story of, a couple of exhibition stories would have shared. So I think that's how Rashmi got in touch with me, saying that, how would you like to share your experience? And it was a pretty big thing because you're just starting your career. It's not that you've worked for 50 years and now you speak about your thing. I said, really, I don't know. I'm just starting my career. I only have 2 products and little bit of this. So he said, that's really nice, because you're leaving a job, um, which you earning so much good money, and you have everything in your hand. You could be probably head of design. You could lead a business, if you hang around there, and you're starting on your own. So resetting to zero, and that's what she probably got intrigued by, and that's how that whole story, whatever, got featured into Connect the Dots. Very simple but very well written, in a way.
Sure. So for want of time, Abhijit, let's go to the last leg. You would
Yes.
love to see some of the work where and how the Red Dot Award happened, and because it's a big journey, and it's ironic that her book also was Connect the Dots, because you spoke about connecting the dots quite a few times in your presentation. So if you can share some of the recent work.
Yeah, just quick, how life grew, with the thing. Um, so this is really rare project where you there's a consulting. BPL was consulting with S Ghosh, SG, fondly known as SG. He was a head of Saatchi and Saatchi, and he was a very inspired by Steve Jobs, very aggressive guy, way, but he will get things done. So he roped me in. I mean, I'm not sure, maybe some Titan Connect or old BPL Connect I had done some work for BPL earlier. And he said, you design this product. It needs to have a battery. It needs to give a light for 6 hours. So in exam time, kids who do not have a UPS at home can study good quality light. That's about it, the brief for it. And while building the stories, the way I did dinosaur story. Then one came Halo story, because in our childhood, when we used to study one day before of exam, whenever light used to go, I remember counting up to reverse till 10, countdown, hoping that light will come back. God will grace me with that, because your whole life is depend on next day, to really pass the exam. And that's how this Halo and a Saint story came. Incidentally, it became a LED light, so the whole hub and the bulb moved out. So it offered us a very different way of integrating that thing. Uh, and then whole form came, and he would even let the MD of BPL comment on this. He will ask him, "Are you a designer?" And very loudly, thumping on the table. Then he said, "Let designer do what he has to do." And really amazing, I mean, somebody can put a trust on a young designer. It's just I don't have a very great whatever experience. Didn't have great experience that time. And sometimes it's meant to be. It just happens, and you cannot repeat that again. It's one of those stories. where we just design even a peppermint flavored plastic so that the box opens, kids get a pepperminty sort of smell in that. Uh, and there was a story written about how my filler thing. He said, now you have to have your signature on a product. I mean, you don't get these opportunities in India, and I mean, you get once in a thing. Um, uh, I also pushed it that time, designed and made in India, because that's something I was very keen that we start building a brand. And this is, I'm talking about 2008, very long time back. When this design in made in India was not such a big thing in that. Uh, I sent it to Red Dot because it's kind of a maker for all of us, and I got a mail and it felt really amazing. So when I went there, I saw this big poster where you have a Mercedes Apple product, Hilti products, and your own product sort of floating there. Um, it meant a huge thing, I mean, it kind of transformed us. It's just another transformation happened in career-wise, on really what next would really come.
Massive achievement, yeah.
Yeah, it felt really nice. The story traveled to 52 countries. Unfortunately, BPL couldn't market it, and I wish it was for IKEA, would have lasted for very long. But uh, good design can only do this much. There is so much post that, especially product design, where a
Well,
medium and
literally,
dependency
yeah.
of infrastructure.
From figuring out what that British commode is to actually getting your product out there for Red Dot Award, it's a massive journey.
I mean, come to think of it, yeah. Yeah, and then one thing led to another. Then we got invited to do Sachin Tendulkar celebrate his life in Bombay by installation. So this is my first sketch. It's a Western. It's on Carter Road, and I'm imagining that one day if and I took a bat as his wand, and when you cut the bat, it bleeds blue because India was a blue color. He played for India, and I said, "This is my installation. Will be 30 feet bat. The sun will come as a ball, and people will take a picture." And there are people take an amazing picture of that. So you visualizing it before it actually happened, right? So this is the sort of a bat. Um, the granite floor is this 200 wagon wheel. We etched it on that, and I etched his face on a handle where people see reflection of them and him. That's the picture moment for them, and very small nuances of that, of India flag, how it would come together on a bat. So there was a cutaway here, so it's sort of blue color inside. So it's his had the opportunity to go there. Amazing, everyone, people. If you have a very big purpose, even a factory which never done something, polish it to the amazing level. Everyone was excited because they're doing something for Sachin. So I think the creating a larger purpose is so important, and we tend to fail that because we are very introvert, inward journey people.
Both look the
We
same, huh?
Marathi blood, I guess. Only, uh, yeah, I mean, you then then a lot of provocation started coming in my work in my own way. None of them made ever any commercial sense. uh, Sort of build this whole when the Anna Hazare's movement was happening, build a money bank called Chai Pani. So you feed, you kind of do your saving for corruption for future, because you have to feed all the babus in, when you grow up. And then you really build three heads to the same coin thing. Gifted that to Anna Hazare ji. He was very happy. Taking some, shared a picture with that. Um, then, I mean, sometimes, money doesn't grow on tree, Manmohan Singh said. Then we built something uh, where it's called money plant, where our coin became, material became ferro of magnetic. So I don't know, it's not working. So it's sort of, it's, you chuck the coin on this and the trees form. There's also strong connect to money plant. Every family has a money plant. And there are stories that if stolen money plant grows bigger and faster and things like that. So really connecting our life to very contemporary forms of that. Started doing something on how do we teach karma to kids. So wanted to develop the whole karma tree app, where again, so they put the sort of each color is a each sort of task, and once they complete that, they start getting earning the tree. When the tree is full, they can order anything on Amazon.
So
So
cool.
seeing how technology could really help consume student, younger kids. Uh, Mubi came along with a very strong point of view as a brand, and Mubi is a spoonerism of Bhumi. It also we didn't think about it, but Ammu and Abhi sort of, a lot of people think that it's your line. It's you and Ammu who did that, so you call it a movie. But whichever way, so they were different thing. The tagline was "Be materialistic." So can we find materialism through sustainable practices? Some unintended fattas. Maybe you influenced me in NID.
Quietly, yeah.
Yeah, quietly. Yeah. Just a short film. It's too much talking and slides. That's it. Another 3 4 minutes and
Don't worry, don't be apologetic. We're enjoying it.
beauty of the products is that they seamlessly just kind of blend in any context or in any space they go, they belong to. So which was the idea behind movie that we want to belong to everyone.
it inspired from India and way of life, but it not necessarily Indian. It will become the way the user is using, the way you want to use it. An idea that we just share our way of life with stories, where people add their stories and then they share it over the audience.
Increase the volume, Abhijit.
Then it finds completely different meaning in different contexts.
We want to create products that are functional and equally delightful. Our products have a exquisite touch of local artistry, which are combined with design excellence, and they're certified by our heart.
Movie will be an authentic and sustainable alternative brand which will help people live their life guilt free.
It's a
Yeah,
very,
so
very well-made movie.
there's a brand called MUBI, alternate movies now. I keep seeing that. Uh,
That's so cool, yeah.
this is the last thing, Sajid, just another 2 minutes thing. So, you grow as a designer, then even objects start seemingly meaningless to you. I mean, I'm reaching towards that point where I don't know how much more we will create. Is there an end to what we're really doing? One of the disconnect I always had was to we don't live the same life outside. In a gated communities we live this, but our streets, our outside thing is never matches to that. And most of the successful societies where the craft and art is part of the streets as very rich in their expression and provocation and point of view. And one of the thing I always felt is for the whole thing. So I'm in that phase to really see how we can transform streets now. And it's beyond probably sometime a product, but again my medium is product, so it keeps coming back to product. So this is one of a new initiative where 60 years of people doing business on bicycles have seen themselves not grow of that. There's somehow jugaad things are really happening in a way, and we felt that there is a big opportunity to change this. And I've been seeing this coconut guy dragging his bicycle for last 20 years, and I thought of this idea in 98 with one of the colleague in Titan to change their life. Let's do something. But you get so caught up with your own thing, you really ignored that. Probably it was not in my list to do it. I had more priorities to do. Maybe a jury member and an award was more important than doing this. So this is just the last clip of, it's called Tiguna, and probably you'll enjoy it.
In today's urban economy, street vendors still play an important role, the fabric of traditional markets. They are the voice of urban aspirations.
ನಾವು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಾನು 3 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. 3 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಎದ್ದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಪೀಣ್ಯ ನಮ್ಮದು ಇರೋದು. ಪೀಣ್ಯದಿಂದ ನಾನು ಬಸ್ ಹಿಡಿದು ಯಾವ್ದಾರು ಆಟೋ ಹಿಡಿದು ಬರಬೇಕು. ಬಂದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಗಂಟೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ನಾವು ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ 5 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಗಾಡಿ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಲೋಡ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಬರಬೇಕು.
As young as 24 to as old as 70, there are an estimated 10 million street vendors in the top cities of India. For each of them, selling is a necessity. The government of India recognizes the volume of these people. Every year, 25 lakh cycles are distributed under various welfare schemes with the aim of giving an opportunity to the poorest of the poor to commute, carry heavy loads, and earn a living. But is that the right solution?
ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ದುಡಿಮೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ. ಮಳೆ ಬಂದ್ರೇನು ಅವತ್ತು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಥಂಡಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಇರೋ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಹತ್ರ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ ಆಗಲ್ಲ.
Over time, their makeshift has become the norm. But we believe it doesn't have to. All it takes is one simple idea to empower street entrepreneurs to the next level: empathy and a human-centered design that helps to see what the end user sees and feel what they feel. This is Tiguna, a wonder on wheels. A design that tackles the pain points of the urban vendor and keeps in mind a sustainable future.
We started Studio Everyday in 2008, and idea was that Studio Everyday will explore facets of Indian design. But the paradox of our life is that when I step out on the street, I see a completely different India. There's one India which has gone using technology to the next level, and one India is still struggling with the same old jugaads. Tiguna word came from Teen Guna, 3 times business, 3 times safety, 3 times comfort, 3 times reach, and most important is 3 times pride.
ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದ್ ಛತ್ರಿ ತರ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬಿಸಿಲಿಗೆ ಮಳೆಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೂವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮುಂದೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಡೋಗ ಹೂವು ಒಂದು 2 நிமிஷத்துவரைಗೂ யூஸ் ஆகுது.
பட் அந்த சைக்கிள் ஓட்டும் போது கொஞ்சம் ஹெவி ஹார்ட் ஒர்க் மாதிரி கஷ்டமா இருக்கும். பட் இது கொஞ்சம் சேஃபாகவும் இருக்கு, கொஞ்சம் ஸ்மூத்தா, கொஞ்சம் நம்மளுக்கு பெயின் இல்லாம ஸ்மூத்தா போகுது. அந்த அளவுக்கு எதுவும் ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லை. இது இருக்கிறதுனால சேஃப் தான், பட் நல்லாவும் இருக்கு இது.
There's pride in the daily grind, in a job that lakhs of people do for almost a lifetime. And we believe that the ones who give should always get back. Teen Guna.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's the
Too good, Abhijit. Can you stop your slide share? That was brilliant, man. What a journey. So we have two vote of thanks. So 1 second. First one, there's somebody here who wants to give a vote of thanks. So Zain wants to give a vote of thanks. He's quite inspired, so he wanted to tell you what he thinks.
I really like what you've done and how inspiring it is with around you what you've made. And from a
Thank-
child, you've had the idea.
So
So good. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Zainu. And the official one, where is Mr. Anirban hiding?
Yeah, I'm here
Where are you, man?
somewhere.
What the hell? How come I can't see you?
Who?
Anirban. Oh, no, there you are. Sorry, this is old age. And Anirban is going to do the official, or the second official one. Sorry, Zain did the official.
Thanks, Abhijit, for the incredible journey that you shared. So, to be honest, I've just heard about you, and I've never had the opportunity of kind of connecting with you, talking to you. I think by the time I joined NID, you'd already left. So, but today's presentation that you gave solved three big mysteries for me: the origin of Abhijit Omelette, the wonderful, beautiful, the model of the eye ophthalmic machine that you had made, and finally the orange packaging, which I had seen lying around. I think it was maybe after you'd left, and it was in one corner, which was in a way kind of fed into my excitement of making things out of paper. So three big mysteries got solved today. Thank you for that. But I think what's really fascinating about your journey has been how you've kind of taken the inspiration, taken the very core element that you kind of got sort of exposed right in the beginning, and that's been kind of taken through all through your journey, the parallel pathways of being exploratory, kind of being curious, trying to match engineering with design and design with engineering, getting influences from your surrounding. All these parallel pathways has always been there right from your childhood in Nagpur till what you're doing today. And I think that's been really inspiring. The other inspiring thing which I really kind of felt great about was how you head on kind of take your challenges. Whether it's learning English, whether it's trying to do something better, whether it's kind of letting go of the hubris and kind of regaining your humility, and then taking the bus ride and kind of going and interfacing with the craftspeople. That takes a lot of courage and a lot of sort of effort to kind of do that thing. It's not easy. It's always easy to look back and say that, oh, it wasn't done. But when you're doing it, it has never been a easy sort of thing. And I think you're one of the few individuals who found social interaction not very difficult while it was happening. So thanks a lot. Thank you for kind of starting on a journey which I think is quite is more common today. But at the time when you started taking Indian craft, taking the idea of Indian design, integrating it to technology and creating products which are of international quality, aiming for that international quality when you started, and the way you've carried it today is incredible. So thank you, Abhijit. Thanks a lot for this wonderful journey that you've taken us through.
I mean, and thank you so much for articulating. I mean, morning when Sajid introduced the whole Spawn story, and now you way you speaking. It's just every day so exciting in our life. It's nice to hear how you're seeing it and articulating better than I could do for myself. Thank you so much for your kind words, Zain and Anirban. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey Abhijit, Sandy.
Sanandan.
कैसे हो?
बहुत बढ़िया.
So I also wanted to say something about you. So when you were the most flashy guy when we all came to NID, and at least in our batch in PG, you're always laughing and smiling and mixing with a lot of people. And I was wondering, where is he getting this energy from? At least for the first 2 years, by the time you finished all your courses, I think I finished my first course completed was systems. And after that,
you're doing baskets,
Yeah.
You got obsessed with the baskets, yeah. Weaving.
So I always found you very energetic, enthusiastic, laughing, charming, happy. The most important part was happy. Whenever I had a conversation with you ever, it gave me happiness because you were excited doing something and you would, with a lot of energy, talk about it. So that innocence and happiness would rejuvenate me because I would go into my own silos at times. And especially the first 1 or 2 years, I was very confused in an idea. I mean, you kind of merged with the whole place very quickly. For me, it took some time because I thought I am an inventor and I had a big confusion between this whole invention bit and design bit and what am I doing here and what should I be doing and so on. It took me a long time to understand that form makes sense. And then it made so much sense to me that I now also teach form in NID. But it took me time. But I was very happy to have you around because of just your happy nature. कभी भी कष्ट है कुछ भी है generally चलो अभिजीत से जाके थोड़ा बात करते हैं and you feel nice. And so that spark, that energy always excited me. And I think that does the same for a lot of guys in our batch. So keep it up. Even now, whenever I see you smiling. Whenever you come to our studio, whenever you talk, it's all okay. Leave whatever has not happened. Fine is fine. Let's enjoy. Let's do something nice. Let's move forward and so on. So that positive energy and attitude is brilliant.
Thank you so much. I mean, we had so many stories together.
No, thank you. On that note, thank you so much, Abhijit. That was super inspiring, and stay the same. And as Ravi said, you haven't changed as you keep absorbing and increasing your design skills, your humility, and the same bad jokes we have when we catch up in our design in other places. And I see you applied bad jokes in all your products also. So amazing.
Yeah. When I grew up, you know the line. Thank you so much, Sajid. I think been very kind and very amazing what you started, and happy to be here and sharing with you and everyone my work.
Cool. And for the guys who are watching on Facebook, there are a lot of comments. You can go and check it out, Abhijit, on Facebook Live. There's a lot of love happening there. Everybody's getting goosebumps and crying and all that. So go check it out. You got a fan club happening on Facebook. So put your phone number there. Huh?